What's up, everybody? Arrg the Pirate here, and today I'm going to be playing a little Kwang in the solo lane. As always, let's go over the deck. Now I have Fast Travel, Mana Generator, Piercing Basic, Healing Towers, Mana Reactor, and lastly Shredding Strikes for my gems. Now for my cards, I have Coin Master, Exoskeleton, Mother Tree, Flame of Zetchin, Green Spring, Growth Totem, Swift Hunter, Thunder Cleaver, Sacred Alchemy, Trapper, Unbroken Spirit, and lastly Godmother Vigilant. Now I have been playing a lot with Kwang lately, and just because, I was trying to make a video and I kept getting the same old thing. DCs, we get a lot of surrenders, things like that. And it turns out the one that I finally do get that's, pretty good match is with an Iggy. Now, I know a lot of people struggle with Iggy, and really, you just have to let him push, guys. Let him push. He can't stay up at this tower for very long and siege the tower just because, he doesn't have mana for it. So just hang out, let him push the lane. If he ever throws down a turret, it's guaranteed going to push the lane. Even if he quits basic attacking, his turret will automatically attack, so the lane will naturally push. And just let him, guys. Just let him push. I've noticed a ton of people lately have been pushing lanes and they're not freezing it, or they're not trying to slow farm and get the enemy out of position, which is exactly what I'm doing here. This Iggy is very far out of position, especially being solo. Of course, he doesn't have to worry about my jungle near as much as I have to worry about the enemy's jungle, but that's perfect because I'm in a very safe place while he is overextended. And if he wants to continue pushing up this far, it's going to be very difficult for him to, maintain this distance because, of course, those turns do cost mana. Now, granted, I'm not saying Iggy is an easy hero to deal with. You can see, put a couple of turrets down and just take those turrets out. Focus those turrets. You can use that Light of Heavens, I believe it's called, to negate some of that ability damage and really, just kind of maintain. Really, you want to stay close to your tower as much as possible, especially with dealing with Iggy. Like I said, Iggy cannot stay sieged on a tower for very long, and his turrets will naturally push the lane. You can see his turrets, he's got 2 of them down. They're just shredding through my minions. Now, he's got 3 of them down, but he's still not going to be able to come into tower. And this is going to allow me to farm, fairly safe. I need to get better at getting my last hits, but you can see he's just burning through mana, and he's doing very, very little damage to me. I am under tower, so, I'm getting fairly healthy, and sure enough, we have our Chimera rotate over and get an amazing gank on him. And this is it, guys. He's pushed out of position. We're able to take him out just easy peasy because, he's pushed up, he's low on mana, that's it. Iggy's very easy to deal with if, you go about it the right way. But if you allow him to get set up, just leave him alone, guys, because, yeah, he'll delete you, which I think I actually show that in another video where we make just a bad choice to go in on Iggy. But, again, guys, let him push the lane. Let him push it to you. Farm under tower. He can't come under tower if he's got turrets set up, because those turrets, they'll get the burn on you, and, you basically, he zones himself out of your tower if you're standing there. And this really allows you to farm safely. Now, another thing I've seen a lot of people doing lately is they'll just push all the way into the tower. And guys, this isn't always the best option either, of course. It's nice to down that tower early, but you definitely want to wait until you're healthy enough to actually go under tower. If you've just got 1 card on and, you're level 5, so the spawn times are very, very quick, you might die for that tier 1, and that's just really not worth it. In this solo lane, it is nice getting your tower down quickly, but you are at a disadvantage on the Dawn side just due to Aqua buff and the jungle's positions. So don't risk your life for a T1. You'll eventually get it, guys. The laning phase has definitely been increased with version 44.3, so, just allow that to happen. it might take 10-15 minutes to down your first tower, and that is quite alright. Just get farm, and once you're fed enough, then you can really just shove this lane down their throats and take over a tower, no problem. Now again, I'm going to get my lane pushed back against the enemy team because I just don't want to deal with all those ranged and everything coming into my tower. But from here, you know, I go back to my slow farming. You see, you know, I'm going to take out one minion, but I'm just kind of waiting. I want this lane to push against me. I don't want to be overextended. And this is exactly it, guys. I've seen a lot of people just pushing lanes like crazy lately. And please, please, just don't do that. I've had a lot of people, whenever I'm playing carry, the supports have just been pushing lanes constantly. And all that does is rob me of farm. Even if I'm able to still get the last hits and the support's not taking them, which isn't always the case, but even when that does happen, you're pushing that lane that's, you know, unsafe to farm that far up. Really, since there is a 2v2 lane and a 1v1 lane, that we still have the same fundamentals of farming. You know, you still want to farm as safe as possible in the early stages of the game. And you can see Iggy's doing everything he can to get some damage on me, but under my tower, he's just not able to do a whole lot. Now, I notice Iggy's very low on mana. You know, he just threw that last little fireball at me, and he's low on mana. He might not even have enough for another turret, let alone a turret and his ultimate. So it's time to engage on him. Sure enough, that's what we do. We get our tether, and we're able to, you know, just make this great play. Now, again, since he is out of mana, you know, he can't do a whole lot. And I'm just going to chase him down. You know, my lane is set well. You know, he does head to mid. You know, Bellica's there to do a little work. And, hey, we take him out no problem at all. And this is exactly, you know, this is what we were waiting for. That mistake for him to make. And sure enough, he made it. We're able to capitalize on it. Now, since I do have purple buff, I'm going to go kind of rotate around and look for things. Now, I notice the rampage, the enemy rampage is heading over to our duo lane, and I'm just going to go in on him. I'm going to take away green buff from him. You know, I don't want him to have green buff. He's very low on mana, especially after that ultimate. We are going in on him under this raptor pit, which, you know, we're in the jungle, everything like that. It's not the best option, but we want to shut this rampage down. Sure enough, we're able to, without having really a whole lot of team rotation. But their rev does show up. You know, we peeled the enemy ADC and support off of that, you know, support side. I missed that route, you know, going around corners is awful hard. But, hey, no problem. We did exactly what we set out to do. We got a great kill. We saved our 2v2 lane. You know, that rampage would have definitely, with blue, or with the green buff, I keep calling it blue. With the green buff, he would have definitely been able to make a huge impact on that side. And again, this frees us up to head over to this raptor, and me and our jungler are going to be able to take this raptor out. Sure, I might lose a little damage on my T1, but picking up this raptor, in my opinion, is well worth a T1, especially in an off lane or a solo lane T1. Now, after we down this raptor, I was able to communicate with Bellica. Hey, go, you take care of my lane, I'll take care of your lane, since, you know, we're kind of in these off positions. And I go ahead and get her lane to where it's not going to push and head back to the solo lane. And, of course, Iggy is here, but, you know, he's been using his abilities. You know, he's been throwing down turrets like crazy. He's really been trying to push that tower, and you can see, again, he's out of mana. And, you know, we're able to get some damage on him with that root. You know, I wasn't really planning on going in on that because, you know, I'm not going to take that tower damage for nothing. Sure enough, Iggy heads over. We're going to go ahead and throw an ult on him. We get him down, you know, fairly low. And from here, you know, if I get that Light of Heavens off of cooldown, I can go ahead, get that root in, and, you know, shock him again, but I missed my root. So, he gets away with that, you know, no problem. But we're pushed up unsafe again, guys. So, you know, we're on his side of the map. There's no reason to be up this far, but I do see we're having a collapse from Bellica. So, you know, we kind of want to stick around. You know, that Revenant was heading in right behind her. So I wanted to peel for her as much as I could. She was able to get out, and she actually managed to take out Iggy. So, you know, even though Revenant is now in our lane, hey, it's not that big of a deal. we should be able to punish Revenant severely for being in our lane, especially now that we've got Sacred Alchemy on. Now, I am in no way threatened by Revenant. For one thing, he's an ADC. I'm definitely hitting harder now. I'm probably more fed than he is, but I'm also, you know, I'm going to hit harder than he is. So, I am in no way threatened. Now, I just go ahead and say, you know what, let's tower dive him. I've got Sacred Alchemy that will help shield me a little bit, and, you know, without him having those minion waves at the beginning, you know, we're able to take him out. Now, I do take quite a bit of damage. You can see that tower was eating me up. Iggy, you know, Iggy's here. He showed up, but we're going to get out. You know, Iggy, he is tough to deal with, but he's fairly easy to run away from. And sure enough, Belica heads over to zone him out, and this allows me to get away with, you know, pretty low on health, but we were able to take out their ADC under tower, which is always great. Now, from here, you know, we're 3-0-1. You know, we've got some pretty good kills. We're getting pretty fed. Belica's absolutely able to delete Iggy. So, you know, we're just going to take this tower. Now is a better time to take this tower than anything. Belica's here to help deal with Rampage, and since I'm able to put that tower between us, you know, hey, no problem at all. But once we down this tower, it's time to get out. You know, there's no reason to chase that. Let's get out. Our team on the other side, you know, our duo lane, they've actually taken out their tier 1 as well. So, you know, hey, we're doing great. We've got the mid one. We've got all their tier 1s down at this point, and we're starting out very strong in this match. You know, we do have a couple of Fang kills at this point as well. So, you know, this is just the start of it. You know, we've really done, you know, good work here. Now, I'm going to head over to this duo lane. You know, I see Murdoch, you know, he gets caught out a little bit. I'm gonna try to head over there and, you know, do what I can, but I just wasn't there on time. It's time to get out. You know, we got to get out of this situation. You know, that rotation there was really to try to get Murdoch to survive, but unfortunately he did go down. Now, we are in a 4-stack, but our Murdoch, unfortunately, isn't one of those people. So, you know, we've kind of had to adjust for his playstyle. He is playing fairly aggressive, which he does make some amazing plays, but he is getting caught out a little bit, just like that last instance. You know, I just was not able to get over there in time. And, you know, that's unfortunate, but you can always adjust to make those plays happen a little better. Now, they're still de-warded our ward at Fang. And, you know, luckily our Aurora is running wards. Aurora wards, oh man. But she is definitely running wards, so she's going to be able to actually go de-ward their ward and get, you know, some vision on Fangtooth for us, because Fangtooth right now is just such a huge part of the game. Now, again, our Murdoch, you know, he's pushed up a little bit, guys. You know, and I'm going to head over there. I definitely don't want to be pushed up this far, but I want to make sure Murdoch stays safe. And since, you know, I can't pull the controller out of his hand, I've just kind of got to help him the way he's, you know, the best way that I can. I definitely don't want to abandon him. He did take out Iggy, which, you know, hey, that's a great play, but, you know, we need to get out. And unfortunately, he's staying in. So maybe we can actually get some damage on this T2, but, you know, of course, their team rotates in, and we're just not going to be able to handle that. Now, from here, since our lanes are pushed up fairly far, hey, it's a great time to go for Fang. And I'm going to go ahead and just start Fang off. You know, Aurora is here, but I go ahead and tell her, you know, hey, you definitely, you know, kind of zone things out, make sure we're staying safe. Iggy is here in mid. I'm just going to go ahead and head in on Iggy, and sure enough, we're able to delete him. Now, Belica, you know, Belica, she gets, Rampage stays on her, and, you know, I was really thinking that us focusing Iggy would peel him off, but it definitely didn't. Luckily, we were able to head over and actually take out that Rampage before he was able to do too much damage to Belica. But that is going to force her to back, which, you know, hey, that's quite all right. We got a couple of kills, and everybody on our team survived, so we're off to a great start. Now, there's a huge presence in mid. You know, we need to get out of mid. There's no reason to be there. You know, we might be able to make something happen, guys, but it's just not worth it. It really is not worth, you know, putting that much effort, using all kinds of ults and everything like that to maybe get a kill, but probably die in the process. Like I said, guys, it's just not worth it. Get out of those situations. When you've got an enemy team stacking up under their tower, there's not a whole lot of point in trying to siege that tower. Now, from here, after I back, the enemy team is kind of having a little bit of a collapse at Fang. You know, I think they were warding it, but Iggy, you know, he gets out of position, guys. We're able to use that ultimate to get that slow on him and just, we delete him. You know, Chimera shows up and boom, he's gone. From here, I'm going to go ahead and get a root onto the enemy steel, and we're able to get a chunk of damage on him, but we're definitely not able to take him out. We get into this big body block, you know, with all the stuns and everything going on. We're body blocking the Chimera. You know, he was probably going to go down anyways, but, you know, that's just unfortunate. But since we have, you know, this presence here, we're just going to shove this lane down their throats, really take out that T2. Unfortunately, Rev, you know, he does immune that ultimate from Aurora. You know, he's lucky enough to be able to. And since he is, you know, fairly low on mana, we don't have to worry about Obliterate too much. But we can still continue pushing this lane. Sure enough, we're able to take out this mid inhib, which is absolutely huge, guys. Taking out the mid inhib is, you know, such a vital, really tool, or whatever you want to call it, objective. That it's such, you know, it's the heart of Paragon. If you can push down the mid lane first, that is just devastating to the enemy team. After downing that mid inhib, you know, there's really no reason to be in mid unless it needs some adjustment. And Bellica's doing a great job of split pushing. So we're going to go head over there, you know, assist her as much as we can. Now, Morghast does show up. You know, I miss my root, you know. Morghast just, man, she's tricky to hit with her root. But we're going to end up just shoving this lane down. We're actually able to take out this T2. And then from here, we're going to head into this inhib and hopefully be able to take it out as well. Now, Murdoch, you know, with that long shot, he's able to get that Revenant. You know, man, the range on that is so good. But from here, you know, I did try to get my slow onto Morghast, but like I said, guys, with her run fast, you know, she's slippery. Now, we are able to take out their solo their solo inhib. Man, guys, man, I wish we knew what the lanes were called. Oh, man. I had to cut it out because I called it like 15 different wrong names just then. But we finally, I got it this time. We took out their solo lane inhib. And, you know, we're dominating this match. We've really done a great job, you know, really snowballing. And from here, I'm actually able to head back and put on Trapper. Now, Trapper paired with Sacred Alchemy is amazing, guys. I really like this build. And it works amazing on Kwang because he does have that lifesteal. And, you know, paired with those shields, you can not only negate a lot of damage, but you're healing yourself as long as you're hitting stuff. I gotta say, huge fan of this build. I do think that, you know, there is some imbalance with deck still. You know, and I don't know if that will ever go away. I think that's just kind of how the new system's going to be. There is going to be imbalance, which, you know, really, in all honesty, you cannot have a fully balanced game. The whole point of a MOBA is the imbalance. But I feel some builds are just a little bit too strong. And, you know, hey, this is one of them, guys. This build is so good. It's really good on Fang. It's really good on pretty much every offlaner, guys. I'm a big fan of it. Now, from here, I'm kind of running around looking, hey, what can I make happen? Now, the enemy Revenant did push up, and he was able to, you know, take out our ADC, or our support, and I said, man, I gotta punish him for that, right? Like, I can't let him do that. So, sure enough, we head over there, we're able to take him out, and, you know, Steel doesn't want any of this, guys. Steel backs right up, and, you know, from here, we're just gonna shove this lane, and hopefully make something happen. Now, our Chimera does go in onto Steel. I knew Chimera was coming, we are in comms after all, but I did not know he was actually going to engage on that. But, you know, hey, no big deal. We're able to take down this tier 2, and from here, you know, hey, we might be able to make something happen. We do get some damage onto their Morghast, but, hey, it's really not worth sticking around this, especially with Iggy showing up. Steel probably still has his ultimate, or, you know, it just got off cooldown. Sure enough, he uses it, but we're going to go ahead and peel for our Chimera, and, you know, I'm just going to go in on Iggy. You know, Iggy's a threat, and if we just leave him there with all that fire and everything else, you know, that's going to hurt. Sure enough, that was a great call. You know, we're able to take him out, and me and Chimera together, we're able to just delete Steel. So we get a great double kill. I am low. You know, I could continue to push, but really, I think Murdoch's going to handle that, you know, fairly easily. And with 3 of them being down, you know, I'm not too worried about it. Their Rampage is in the off lane. Revenant is doing everything he can to keep the, you know, core from going down. So, not too worried about Murdoch leaving him alone. And from here, we're going to go ahead and pick up Prime. Now, you might be saying, hey, why are y'all going for Prime? Why don't y'all just push the core? And they're about to spawn in. You know, at this point, they might spawn in before we're able to even get there. And again, we run into that same situation where the enemy team's going to turtle shell under their tower, and you can see our Murdoch goes down. It's very hard to deal with those teams that are, you know, they stay under their tower, and you just kind of have to wait for them to push out, make a mistake, and then you can punish them for it. Now, after we pick up Prime, you know, we go ahead and pick up Fang again, which, you know, that's our 4th thing. It gives us a pretty good power spike. And hopefully we can actually make something happen. Again, I missed that root on Morgish. You know, she's slippery, guys. Iggy uses his ultimate just right away, which that really wasn't the best choice. He really should have waited. You know, right now would be a good time. But, you know, hey, we're going to go in, actually make some plays happen. You know, I start taking tower aggro, and I'm not exactly sure what happened. I might have hit somebody, something. I'm not exactly sure. We go ahead and take out their Revenant, which was the big threat. You know, I end up going down, but that's okay. You know, we try to make that core play, and again, this is the situation we're running into, guys, where you know, team's turtle shelling. There's not a whole lot you can do. Just throw your bodies at the core, and eventually it'll go down. Now, granted, you could say, hey, man, why don't you just, you know, straight up just hang back and wait? And really, you know, that it's not fun. You know, I don't enjoy just waiting. You know, because, yeah, there's nothing to do. We've got Prime, we've got Fang. You know, there's absolutely nothing for us to do. Just sit there and wait. And that's unenjoyable. I don't want to just stand around for 2-3 minutes while the enemy team gets more and more fed, and, you know, which at this point, them getting fed is not the issue. The issue is, you know, we can't actually get into the core. You know, sure, we could have some great team rotation, things like that, or we could combine some ultimates, but really, you know, that core hurts. And if they are able to back up, especially with someone like Iggy, there's not a whole lot we're going to be able to do. So, you know, it's really, again, I really hope Epic does something to change how this part of the match feels, because it does get stale, it does get boring, and you know, I don't want to say this match is over. There's always potential for a comeback, but at the same time, you know, it kind of is over. You just really have to just sit and wait and buy your time, and you know, that's really the true in all aspects. But it's now 29 minutes in, and we've had all their inhibs down. We got Prime, we got Fang, you know, everything was taken, and we've just been waiting go for the core for, you know, a little over 5 minutes now. Now, since version 44.3, or maybe even a little bit before that, I've played almost every game that I've played that has gone all the way to completion have ended like this. You know, the team turtle shells, and it's very stagnant. It's not fun. You know, it's almost a waste of 7-8 minutes, which, you know, you could argue, hey, they could turn it around. But in a situation like this, it's very unlikely. You know, I'm not going to say it could never happen, but it's just so unlikely, and it's not enjoyable. I really hope that Epic does something to kind of turn this around and change it. Well, that's going to wrap it up, guys. This was an absolute blast of a match. We had a lot of fun. We had some great team coordination, even though Murdoch was, you know, he was playing a little aggressive, but it was a really fun match. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and if you did enjoy, show me some love. Leave me a comment, think about subscribing, join our Discord if you haven't done it, so I'd love to see y'all in there, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.